if you have any significant amount of Bitcoin, I say if you can get to a tenth of a Bitcoin, yeah, you are going to see that. You are going to see generational wealth. At a tenth of a Bitcoin, I think, is a game changer. And when I talk about generational wealth, I mean, I'm serious when I say people are going to close out their bloodlines here. You know, Arthur Hayes just came out, the co-founder of BitMEX. He just came out and updated his forecast for $1 million a coin by 2028. ARK just updated theirs about 2 months ago to 2.4 million, I believe it was, by 2030. I mean, this is going to happen. It's inevitable. And so people are going to, and you know, it's not going to stop there. I'm glad that Michael Saylor finally came. I'm glad that he updated his numbers, because quite frankly, I thought that was really low, what he had there on the base case. So I'm really glad that he upped it.
Right. You tweeted out the Bitcoin life, sound on and dream with me today. I want you to feel what it likes to be free, to have time stretch out before you, to live your dreams and pursue what interests you. I live that life now. This is the life I want for you. It's coming your way. So let's talk a little bit more about what is the Bitcoin life? What does that mean to you?
Yeah, you know, I'm very fortunate because obviously, you know, I'm older. I'm probably one of the older people in Bitcoin space that I meet. But what was good about that was, and I don't know why, but I understood Bitcoin early enough that I could take all of my wealth and just put it into Bitcoin. So I've had a chance to see now over the years what that does to you. And that's coming for everyone that's hodling Bitcoin. I mean, if you have any significant amount of Bitcoin, I say if you can get to a tenth of a Bitcoin, you will see this. Now, obviously that's spoken for, you know, someone who's younger than myself. But for somebody that's younger than myself, yeah, you are going to see that. You are going to see generational wealth. So again, just getting back to what I was saying, you kind of have to figure out what you're going to do in life. And, you know, you can't be sitting around on this generational wealth eating donuts. You got to go out and do something. And, you know, even if you're stacking, like even now for myself, you know, I still do things. I'm still interested in life. I'm still learning. I'm still challenging myself. You know, I just took up scuba diving. I'm going to get back into flying. I lost my medical years ago. I had a really bad motorcycle accident and a brain injury. So I'm fortunate that I survived that and I'm here. But I'm going to get back into that. And when I talk about this thing, the Bitcoin life, what I'm trying to say is this. Time will stretch out for you. It's changing for me. I'm not on a hamster wheel. I don't feel pressured. You know, I'm in galleries around the country, but, you know, quite frankly, I really don't give a shit if I ever sell another painting. I don't have to. I can do what I want. And, you know, it's a great feeling to be free like that. And time is such a precious thing, especially as you get older like I am and you can see the horizon out there. You know where it is. It's coming my way. You know, for all the people that are younger than myself, you're going to have an incredible journey in front of you. It's going to be a magical journey for those who are actually in Bitcoin. It may be difficult for other people, but if you just stay focused, stay humble, stack sats, you know, at some point you're going to be like me. You're just going to be sitting here going, you know, I'm off the hamster wheel. You know, I can do what I want in life. I can travel if I want to. I can help people. You know, at some point we're going to have people with so much wealth, Cedric, that they're going to be able to form fediment banks if they want to and change the course of history for a village somewhere in Africa or a region, or bring water to places. I mean, there are so many things that are in front of us here on this Bitcoin standard that's coming.
Yeah, you kind of went on to write, this is a question you'll have to answer in the next few years. Look past all the noise today, see your future and what you want. Very soon the nature of time itself will change for you. It will stretch out. You will not be the same. Sound on and dream this life with me, pleb. It's coming. So maybe two questions around that, maybe focused on Bitcoiners though. First, I mean, what would be your advice to people who are, grinding it out still? And I mean, you've worked a lot of different jobs. Maybe not every hour in each job was meaningful. Maybe some were. All those experiences do add up, though. So when I say they're not meaningful, I'm not trying to say they're not part of the journey, right? But you might feel like you're sweeping a floor for someone who doesn't care or whatever it might be. but you got to grind it out. You got to get to where you want to go. What would be your words of what would you say to people who are still grinding?
Yeah, that's well put, Cedric. You're right, because that is part of the journey. And yeah, I've even flipped burgers and stuff. I'm not saying these things were fun. That job underground just sucked. I mean, I worked as far as 10,000 feet. That's almost 2 miles down. And down there, I mean, the world just sucks. There's no other word for it. And all around you, you can feel the earth creaking, and sometimes there's almost sounds like a shotgun going off. Like if you've ever been on a lake, frozen lake at night, and it cracks. So yeah. And what are you doing? So what are you doing that whole time? You're working for a wage, and that's all I've been. I've been an 80 IQ pleb, just working for a wage. There are so many people in this Bitcoin space that are building things, doing things, different projects, and I've just been a worker. And so what I learned about Bitcoin was I could work my ass off. I could have stayed down there in that mine, and I made good money down there, as you can imagine. I mean, it was, they paid you well for a reason. Well, guess what? I could have stayed down there, and at the end of 30 or 40 years, yeah, I could have saved up some money. But the bottom line is, now that I understand what mouse click money is, thank you, Larry Lepard, that is a great line. Now that I understand what mouse click money is, now that I realize that all my work can be dissipated, debased with just the click of a mouse. And look at what happened after post-COVID. The 5 years afterwards, what we printed, the amount of money that was in the system, approximately 40%. Well, you know what? That's all the savings. That's everything that you were working for, gone. But at the same time, I do think that this is the transition period. I want people to understand that it's really happening, and you have a limited time. It's a limited time where you're going to be able to get any appreciable amount of Bitcoin. I mean, just look at what's happened in the last few years. Back in 22, I got Bitcoin at like $16,000-$17,000 a coin. And I remember I said a tenth of a Bitcoin I think is a game changer. Well, guess what? For $1,700 I could get a tenth of a Bitcoin. Now it's going to cost me a lot more, 10,000, and soon it's going to be 100,000 to get that same amount. So I'm gonna say something that may sound, especially since I said life is short and time is precious. If you have a job right now, and maybe it sucks, but it's paying well. For me, if I were in that position and I were young, I would just put my head down, just like I did when I was working in that fucking mine. I'd put my head down, and I'd just keep one foot in front of the other, and I'd keep stacking fiat cuckbucks, and I'd turn it into Bitcoin as fast as I could. And not financial advice. Again, you've already highlighted the fact that I don't have any financial background, none. And, I've had a brain injury to boot, so, I mean, I don't know. What I'm trying to say, Cedric, is I think this is a really important time right now. We are going through a transition, and we're going to see it. Larry said I'm a fitness buff. Well, one of the reasons is I'm working out all the time is I just want to be around long enough to see this. I want to see you kids. I want to see these people, I want to see them win for a change. And I think it'll happen.